Pearl Jam are one of the most successful American rock bands ever. They are a rock slash grunge band from Seattle. They were formed in 1990, and they had quite a turnover of drummers until their most recent drummer, who joined in 1998, and they've managed to stick with him since then. And the rest of the band have been totally constant. They have sold lots and lots of records over the years. They started rock, they went grunge, then they went back to rock, and they have released, at the point I'm recording this, 12 studio albums. Their most recent is this year, as I'm recording, which is 2024. Hi, my name's Dan. So this is the fifth studio album by Pearl Jam, and it's my first time listening to it. So before I did video reviews, I had a blog which I was doing similar reviews. I have a shorter list. By shorter, I mean it was only 1,000 rather than 3,000, and it was a list of my own creation. So I was, in some ways, never totally happy with it. And once I found the Acclaimed music list, I took me a couple of weeks to kind of contemplate it, but I did. I made the jump. But this does mean that there are a few albums that I review that I've reviewed before. I haven't reviewed this album before, but I've reviewed their third album, Verses, on my blog. And at that point, I gave them a low score for that album, and I didn't get the hype. I didn't understand why they were so popular. I just didn't respond to it particularly well. Interestingly, I don't know if this is unique on the list. There are five Pearl Jam albums on this list, and they're the first five albums that they released, and they appear on this list as I go from the bottom to the top in reverse order. So their fifth one, and this is their fifth one, then the fourth, third, etc. So the general opinion seems to be that they were best at the start and have diminished somewhat over the time. Sometimes that's to do with kind of legacy and impact of things. But as you'll see from the score that I've given this, I actually quite like this album. So I am kind of wondering. So I gave Versus quite a lot lower score. I'm wondering what's going to happen when I get to it in the course of these reviews, and whether I'm going to find that my opinion of these albums goes down as we go through. But we'll find out as we get there. I always try and give things a fresh listen when I get to them. So this is a rock album. It's got quite a variety of feels going on, which I was like. It has an overall feeling of confidence and of power and restraint, which is something I often like. Some bits, I would think the description alt rock wouldn't be a bad description of it. It's kind of I can hear elements of their grunge heritage, but it isn't grunge. It's just got some of the kind of structural stuff. But it could be REM at times. It's got that kind of mid-paced rock feel generally, but it's kind of pop generally. It's guitars, drums, and bass, lots of textural changes and feels. There's some interesting chord use. Some stuff is discordant. There's some that's got unusual chord sequences. There's also some rhythmic interestingness and off-kilter time signatures. And these are things that I often enjoy. And I did here, so you'll find it more interesting musically than very formulaic rock. Some nice feels, there's some nice playing, is nicely put together. The singing is, so I will confess, I find him at times a bit on the nasal side. I think it's possible that I'm getting better at dealing with that. So it is something that puts me off voices. Maybe it's less so because when I check back my review of this, then I it was something that I commented on. Otherwise, though, it's nicely performed. It's kind of at times smoky half singing. It's quite expressive. Songs I'm not didn't pick up hugely what they're about, but they seemed quite interesting. Apparently, several of them were inspired by literary works. Probably my favourite track on the album is Do the Evolution. I like that, particularly musically. It's got elements of criticism of a religious person in, which I didn't quite put all the thoughts together, but found it again somewhat interesting. So I was having known and remembered that I hadn't been impressed with Pearl Jam in the past, I was surprised by how much I enjoyed this album. It was varied and interesting, and it's got a nice feel to it. So, yeah, I hope that this demonstrates that I can listen without prejudice to stuff. I don't know if that's always true, but maybe in this case I did. We'll see. I'm just a person. So, as always, I'd like to invite you to tell me what you think of this album by leaving me a comment in the comments. And if you like the review, do give me a thumbs up. And if you're enjoying the reviews, why not join me on this journey that I'm on to review the 3,000 greatest albums of all time? And the easy way to do that is by subscribing to my channel. I'm heading nicely and quickly towards 1,000 subscribers. So can you get in before 1,000? And apparently, if you click the right things in there, there's something with the bell, then it'll notify you when I put a new review up, which I do fairly often at the moment. That's it from me for now.